Warrior true, do you wish to dance with thy blades, to flow ceaselessly like running water, to move lighter than air, yet fiercer than fire? Well, look no further, warrior true. In today's video, I will be guiding you through the process of transforming your character into the most elegant and skilled swordsman in the land of Shadow. But, as any dancer would surely tell you, some impeccable fashion is always necessary to ensure maximum elegance, which is why we start our journey in the lands between, right next to the Windmill Village, where we foreshadow the entire build by partaking in some early game dancing. What a pleasant tune this is. It's here that we pick up the Noble's Traveling Set, which is some nice temporary attire before we get to the real stuff. Don't forget to remember that your character is a raging ginger and quickly swap to the Crimson Hood, which is found in Stormvale Castle, which is a perfect fit for a dancing, blade-wielding Red Riding Hood. I'm afraid of the big bad wolf, bitch. Now, a dancing swordsman is nothing without their blades, and we are quite naked and exposed at this point, having only our bare fists. So, for our first of many blades that can be danced with, I ride Torrent straight over to Castle Ensis and climb up this tower to pick up Mady, by far my favorite weapon of the DLC, and I will explain why in a bit. But first, we gotta run through Castle Ensis, avoid the roided up Moongrum like the plague, as he is a formidable foe at this point. I also make sure we pick up Rana's cameo on the way, and then jump off this balcony right next to the Grace before the boss fight, where we can pick up the majestic Ash of War Wing Stance, which turns Mady into McQueen. Well, not really, but it's awesome. Light greatswords are insanely silky, and as Mady is the only infusible one, it's incredibly versatile, and its playstyle and damage type can be switched up at will depending on which enemy you're fighting, which is actually pretty essential in the DLC. To complete the Mady build, we go and pick up the Deflecting Hardtier from this mountainous furnace golem. And now that we have our basic setup, I can explain the playstyle whilst fighting the Black Jail Knight. I'm pretty sure this guy was everyone's first warning that the DLC is not to be taken lightly. Anyway, I like to split Mady's style into 3 sectors. The first is using spontaneous guard counters whilst utilizing the deflecting tier. This works similar to parrying, except you don't stagger enemies with it. Instead, you do a quick deflect which can be followed up by a heavy attack guard counter and should be used near the end of enemies' combos. It takes a while to get used to though, and I died a lot whilst practicing with it. The second sector is comboing an R2 heavy attack into a double light R1 attack, which has this really clean and silky 5-hit combo. And the final sector is utilizing Wing Stance. The most reliable way to use this is hold your stance until you charge up Rana's cameo, and then input a heavy attack to launch up and do some good damage and stance damage. If you can get it off, you can also input a light R1 attack first, then follow up with a heavy leaping attack for maximum damage. However, it is very situational and you often get knocked out of the animation. perhaps my favorite fight of all time. Rana, the Twin Moon Knight, is the perfect opponent with whom I can cross dancing blades. I love everything about this boss. The music, the scene, her armor, and her skills with a blade. If only it had a cutscene, that would have been awesome. Learning how to use the deflecting heart here against Rana is a satisfying challenge and makes the fight incredibly immersive, and it really does feel like I'm dancing with her. I haven't quite got the timings down as perfectly as I want to because I really want to do this fight hitless, but I'm loving it more and more each time I do it. I didn't even want to change the music of this fight for my video because it's just so clean. Miyazaki, you've done it again, my friend. I really didn't think I would ever enjoy a guard counter build, yet here I am, using it against the boss, and not only is it viable, but also very enjoyable. It took me a couple tries, but we managed to take down Renala's superior sibling for a spicy reward. Now, tell me, what is better than one light greatsword? Yes, you guessed it, 2 light greatswords. Rana's twin blades are stupidly cool and more than qualify for the category of dancing blades. When using the skill Moon and Fire Stance, you can either input heavy attack to make Firestorm go brrr, super strong against giant hands by the way, or you can input light attack 5 times to make magic go brrr, which are both very good options. But my favorite part about this weapon is the naughty combos you get with the dual light greatswords. R2 heavy into light R1 combo is still great, but it seems to get a new combo while running. Try using R2 into R2 heavy followed with a light R1 to perform this absolutely filthy and seemingly never-ending wappa-dappa ding-dong wombo combo supreme. Disgusting. It does require you to split stats into faith, intelligence, strength, and dexterity, which is a little bit annoying, but that's a small price to pay for greatness. Now, so far, I've only been focusing on dancing weapons, but how about some talismans and buffs? Honestly, just chomping on those scatter tree fragments is more than enough buffing, but I do like to have some blade coating buffs like Electrify Armament, Blood Flame Blade, etc., just to make Mady look really cool. As for talismans, we already have Rana's cameo, which is great for Mady and the twin blades, as they both maintain a stance position when using their respective skills. I'd also occasionally recommend equipping the Curved Sword Talisman for some spectacular guard counter damage. Or you could even strip down some of your clothing to lighten your load and truly go full dancer mode with the Blue Dancer Charm to maximize damage output. Be warned though, I quickly learned that the Land of Shadow is not really a safe place to be naked, so use the Blue Dancer Charm at your own risk. For some new talismans, I'd go with the Blade of Mercy because it just looks really cool, not to mention it ramps up that naughty crit damage. And Then finally, the two-headed turtle talisman, which has its own specific purpose, which I will get to in a bit. Now, after carefully crafting your unique set of talismans, don't forget to completely abandon them all and swap to every single defensive talisman you possess, because the Land of Shadow be like that, unfortunately. All jokes aside, the two-headed turtle is very helpful for the next dancing weapon on my list. My second favorite new weapon in the DLC, the backhand blades. Backhand blades are a top-tier weapon option for a couple reasons. My favorite part about them is the unique running R1 they possess, which allows you to retain your momentum while attacking. The only weapons in the whole game which let you do this. This is fantastic as it opens up a whole new playstyle where running is king. I found that comboing the running R1 into the blind spot L2 attack is not only super silky but also unbelievably effective and makes you look like a pro even when you're a complete noob. Run behind an enemy whilst getting a cheeky hit in and then immediately hit them with the blind spot to completely bamboozle them. Not only does this help you avoid attacks way more often, but you also get off some stylish damage whilst doing it. The backhand blades are the sole reason why I wanted the two-headed talisman, as constantly sprinting and using blind spot consumes a lot of stamina. So we gotta get that regen up, baby.
Warrior True, what is it that you need?
I need a red motherfucking dress, baby. Ah yes, the dancing blade of Rana. What a truly mesmerizing set this is. To get the full set, we had to travel to the Cerulean coast and take this hidden tunnel to find our fellow blade dancer on this isolated island. The battle itself was made easy with that naughty combo from the twin blades that I mentioned earlier. A truly spectacular combo against any NPC-like enemy, as they just can't handle the sauce. After defeating her, we can pick up her beautiful set to complete the Blade Dancer build. Of course, you can play this build however you want, really, and I'm just here for a little bit of guidance and variety. This set is honestly my favorite of the DLC. The striking red dress is very eye-catching, and whenever it's raining, it gives the dress a very deep, rich crimson tone that I really love. Now, the actual dancing blades are quite interesting and, in all honesty, dog shit. The only thing that these dual curved swords are good for is getting some clean cinematic footage for my intro. The skill, Unending Dance, is, believe it or not, a dance that never ends. Shocking, I know. That is at least until your FP runs out. The reason why I think it's bad is that you get absolutely zero hyper armor and you get knocked out of the animation very quickly by any decent opponent, unending my ass. Although useless, they're still pretty fun, and I'm sure with a bit more testing I could have probably found a use for them. So if anyone knows a place where these curved swords shine, please let me know in the comments below. The final test for the Blade Dancer comes in the form of yet another fight for elegance. Mesmer the Impaler is a fantastic fight with some really good dancing flow to it, just like Rana. The Apologies if you're expecting me to dance on every remembrance boss in the game, but that was never the plan. I just wanted to give you guys a guide on how to cosplay the most elegant blade dancer in Elden Ring. If you've enjoyed the video, then you've made me a happy man, and I can't wait to show you guys all the other videos I have planned for DLC. But for now, enjoy the Impaler being impaled by Mady. Until next time, guys.
America, a curse upon thee.